morning, everyone. I've just finished a meal plan for May. We have so many fun things planned and I can't wait to cook with you. Today is gonna be a little bit different because I'm making that air fryer fiesta chicken again for my son's birthday. He requested it and it's really exciting that he loved it. So that's what we're making today, and I'm not gonna bother showing you guys that because you've already seen it. But we do have to preserve some herbs today because things are bolting out there. I cannot believe it. It is, what, April 30th? And things are bolting. We had a couple really hot days and I need to go get as much of my cilantro in as possible and figure out how I'm gonna preserve that. And I'm also gonna do my scallions, and I'll show you what other plants we put out there. My tomatoes are struggling. Tonight, I'm also gonna show you, we're gonna try making a s'mores cake in a cup. We got some really nice organic graham crackers from Azure. And it has marshmallows, and we're gonna do that for my son's birthday. His party is on Saturday, so today's kind of just a mini celebration, if you will. And I'm not sure, maybe I'll make something else along the way. We do have to get some meal prep going. I need bread and yogurt, but you guys have seen that a bunch. So yeah, we'll just see how the day goes. Here are my poor tomato starts from Azure. Now last year, I think I definitely babied them a lot. When I was hardening them off, I did too much, I think. And this year, I don't think I did enough. I assumed that if they were on the refrigerated truck, they could handle some pretty chilly temps. It didn't freeze, and they were protected from frost, but I think maybe it was still too cold for them. And then right after it was chilly and they came off the truck, it got really hot. And so they've been in indirect sunlight. I only let them get a couple hours a day of direct sunlight, and they are crispy. They look damaged. So this guy is probably the worst. He's the gold nugget tomato. This one's a bummer because this one was already flowering. This is the early cherry tomato from Azure. Yeah, you see the flowers on there? Yes. And it has quite a bit of yellowing. I don't know. I really want to get them in their official pots, but I'm worried about them being in full sun.
Also, this one has a couple little buds right there.
You're right. This one does have some buds right here.
That
could be worse.
Look a little bit healthy because Mom, what is it again? A lot of leaves look. Mom, what is green, but only these leaves are not.
You know, this plant's looking pretty well. So now that I'm showing these two, I'm realizing that it's really just two of them that are really rough. So here, my lettuce has just absolutely bolted. So a lot of these are gone. I don't feel too terribly because I started these from seeds, so they were practically free. But it is a bummer because I didn't think I would have to worry about this until, I don't know, the end of May. So this is kind of crazy. And then likewise, my cilantro is starting to just shoot up like it's gonna bolt. So I'm gonna cut that back as much as I can. I cut this one yesterday and it's in the fridge. I'm gonna take the extra off of this in case he's about to go too. We'll preserve those. Down here we have a row of bok choy going, which I'm really excited about. I have some stir fries planned at the end of May. So that would just be awesome if we could get that out of our garden.
And also we have a couple of basil plants.
You're right, these are basil. So we've got different basil varieties. I just bought the variety pack from Azure, and we'll see what they ended up looking like. I also have some more normal basil in the front yard. This lettuce down here has just taken off. I think these were from seed also. All the lettuce we had was from seed actually, because Azure starts were not in stock this year. And then over here, I think I'm gonna top most of these. I mean, I'm gonna take all the green off of most of these and chop them and freeze them. I'm gonna tackle these green onions first. What I've done in the past with store-bought green onions is just slice them and freeze them in a Ziploc, and I think it works. It's really easy then to just pull out what you need. I guess the exception would be if you're making some kind of stir fry or something where they want the green part chopped longer, you know, rather than just diced up like this. But for most of the things that we cook, this is fine. For the cilantro, I have heard of a lot of different ways. Apparently some people blanch it, which seems like a lot of effort for cilantro. And then other people chop it and put it with some olive oil, it seems. But I have heard some people also say that they just lay the stems flat and freeze them in a bag. I am gonna test that out and see how that works, because if that works, that is obviously the easiest way to go. So maybe it will be a total failure, but I'm gonna give it a go, especially because I only have a little bit here. And hopefully later on in the season, I will have a lot more. All right, let's see. This cilantro was cut a couple days ago, so it's a little wilty, but it's still pretty healthy. And I'm just gonna kind of separate it a little bit. Some of these stems are really thick compared to what you would get at the grocery store, so I might trim them just a little bit so I'm not putting huge, thick stem in there. My husband and I were talking about how much bigger and healthier the leaves look in the cilantro that we grew at home versus what you get in the grocery store. But we've been paying close to $2.99 for a bunch, and it's usually kind of a weak bunch. So this right here would definitely be at that $3 mark, if not more. I've always heard it said that herbs are one of the most cost-effective things you can grow, and I definitely agree with that. In fact, we don't even buy herbs like basil fresh throughout the year because the amount that you get in those little plastic containers, I mean, we're in America, and in our grocery stores, usually it's like a little rectangular container with just a few sprigs of basil, and that can run you, you know, I don't know, $3 to $5 depending on how, if you're looking for organic or not. I'm gonna see how this works. Maybe it will be a total disaster, but this would be so easy if it works. I think I am going to do a little air fryer experiment. This is a recipe I tried once a while ago. It's called Quinoa Arancini. And it's basically like a little ball with mozzarella cheese inside it. And last time I made this, it was years ago, and I did it with string cheese because that's all I had. And so I was just making do. I'm gonna wait to slice this until I see how big the balls are. But now I have this really good raw organic mozzarella, and I'm gonna use that. This is the bowl I'm gonna mix it in because all of my bowls have disappeared to the backyard. My kids have been coming up with all kinds of games, and I need to go out there and hunt my bowls down. It says it wants 1 1/4 cups of quinoa. I'm a little worried my quinoa is too wet, but we'll see. Here's 1. I think that's about 3/4. Maybe a little bit generous, but oh well. These are the panko that I got from Azure, and I mentioned in the haul that it's pretty bland, so I seasoned it with Italian seasoning. And I am gonna put, I guess half of it goes in here, and then half of it is a coating for a later step. So we need a 1/4 cup of Parmesan. I'm just gonna guess it's about that. Then we need an egg. That Italian seasoning does smell so good. This is gonna be the coating, so it's gonna do, after you make the ball, you put it in the egg and then into the panko. A fork would be ideal, but I have a spoon out right now, so I'm just gonna use it. I'm gonna divvy this up into 6 balls. I think they seem pretty big. I don't know, they look a lot bigger than the picture. Maybe I might break these up even more. Like, I think I could make 12. See, that's half of one of the 6, so I think that's a little bit better. Let's try to cut some cubes here. think that's a good size. I'm really tempted to overdo it because I really want it to be nice and cheesy in the middle, but I don't want them to fall apart. So let's see, that's 6, 8, 10. I guess I need 2 more. Just have a little extra. I know some kids that will be happy to eat some cheese cubes. Let's see here. Not bad. And then it goes in the egg wash. Rolls in the panko. And there's one. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest and then we'll fry them up together. Here are the arancini. They are ready to go in. I'm a little bit worried that I only have these, oh, what are these called? Like slatted trays or whatever, mesh trays. I do think it would be better on just a flat tray, but this is what I have. So in it goes. And when I was reading the recipe for cook time, I did realize that I forgot a lot of the extra seasoning. It calls for garlic and basil. Ooh, I can't go there. But I did use a ton of Italian seasoning in the breadcrumbs, and I'm sort of just praying that that can carry us here. So if these come out great, but just a little bit bland, we'll know what to do next time. This just beeped. Let's take a look. I think that top layer looks done. Some of it popped open. I think this bottom layer could stand to go a little bit longer. It's a lot less crispy. Let's stick it up top and give it another minute. Okay, let's take them inside and try them. I think I'm gonna start with this one since it popped open. That looks delicious.
Are you gonna eat it?
Mmm. It's crispy. I think the only thing I would do different is next time I would season the quinoa. So all those seasonings I mentioned, I would put them in the quinoa while it cooks because I feel like that's the part that tastes a little bit bland. We had a change of plans yesterday. We had some sick kids and I was not feeling well either, so we switched gears. I cooked dinner and survived. So today we're gonna tackle these jalapenos. I really want to chop them up and freeze them, and I wanna put some in the fridge because I think tomorrow I'm gonna try jalapeno cheddar bagels. I've been really wanting to do it. I've seen so many people doing it lately and it looks so easy. Like basically you just use your normal bagel recipe and put them in there. So that will be tomorrow, hopefully. So I'm gonna chop these up and then I'm gonna maybe get to that dessert I was gonna make yesterday. Don't tell the kids. They gotta eat their lunch first. I am gonna see if I can stand working with these gloves because I have a tendency to get jalapenos under my nails and I wear contacts and then I take my contacts out at night and no matter how well I wash my hands, there is jalapeno in there. Yeah, these kind of stink to work with. Last time I chopped jalapenos, I used like latex gloves that were way more form-fitting. But ironically, the box of these gloves says that they are they're food prep gloves. So I don't know who's out there prepping food with these on, but I guess it's me today, huh? They are still nice and fresh, which is a relief. I was a little worried that I took too long to get around to this task. These are from Azure Standard, and sometimes I worry, I guess the first few times I ordered peppers from Azure, I was a little bit worried that they wouldn't survive the transit just since they are a little more delicate. I bought these, the jalapenos, and I've also purchased serrano peppers, or I'm sorry, poblano peppers, I think is what I'm trying to say. And they've all been beautiful, although right now the poblanos are out of stock. I guess they're just not in season. We do cook a few things with those serranos, and I am very eager for them to come back in stock. I like to chop them up and freeze them in bags, about 2 peppers worth in each bag. And it's so convenient, and that way we can have organic serranos, because I don't think I've ever seen an organic serrano pepper in the grocery store. I'm really trying to hurry up and get this done before the baby wakes up from his nap. because doing anything with spicy peppers and also trying to keep up with a 1-year-old is just a recipe for frustration, I guess. I'm taking most of the seeds out, but I am leaving behind a few. All right, here goes. You know what? I'm gonna take my gloves off for this part. I guess the worst part of the spiciness is over. So here's what I'm gonna do. They're all chopped and I'm gonna store, I don't know, I think it's just shy of a cup's worth in here, and I'll use these tomorrow for the bagels. And then I was thinking about doing individual portions for this, but I don't really know what size to make the portions. So I'm just gonna freeze it flat like this, and I'll just be able to take out what I need when I need it. Here I have all the stuff to make this microwave cake thing. My kiddos are doing quiet time. They have no idea I'm making this, so hopefully I can pull it off as a surprise. Here I just have the butter and chocolate microwaved. I don't know if anybody else does this, but every time a recipe says microwave on half power or I don't know, a certain wattage or whatever, I have no clue how to do that. And I just do it in about 30-second or 20-second increments, and I've never had a problem. These are the 2 mugs I'm gonna make it in. It is a microwave recipe, so it should be easy. Into the chocolate, I need to do my sugar and my eggs. To the chocolate, I've added the sugar and the eggs. I could probably be using a bigger bowl, but all of our bowls are dirty from this morning and I don't feel like hand washing them just for this. I need vanilla as well. I'm just gonna do a splash. I also need to add salt and cocoa to this. So this, in the end, is going to be it's like a mug cake with a s'mores twist. So that should be interesting. Why is cocoa so awful to work with? Okay, I was getting away with the spatula, but I am no longer making it work. My little whisk is also dirty, so I am really just trying to get away with a lot here. All right, there we go. That cocoa finally absorbed. I'm gonna do the rest of my mixing in here. Like I said, I'm just trying to survive with what I've got. Let's see, I need a 1/4 cup of flour. Should we go? A 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. There we go. Then I'm gonna fold this in. Now, I know normally you're supposed to add the dry to the wet, but this is how we're doing it today. So it seems like the s'mores add-ins are something you do at the very end. And first I am just going to put the batter in the mugs. And then they microwave for 45 seconds each, and then you stir them, and then you microwave it for 45 seconds more. And actually, I think you can microwave them at the same time, which is really convenient. Let's pop them in and see what happens. So after that first 45 seconds, they are a little thickened up. Oh, that one had some hard spots. Interesting. They're cooking a little bit differently. In they go for the final go. For the graham crackers, I am trying these Mary's Gone Cookies is the brand. It says they're supposed to be a substitute for a honey graham cracker, and they're gluten-free. Let's see. They're made with oat flour and brown rice flour. Now, I did just taste one. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's little specks of, I'm assuming that's like some sort of seed or whole grain or something. And they taste all right, but they are pretty crunchy. They're crunchier than you would expect a graham cracker to be. It has chia seeds, that's what it is. I don't think the kids will care. I care because I have a lifetime of graham cracker preference built up, but that's just me. Here are the mug cakes. I don't know if I did something wrong. It said the batter should rise to just below the rim of the mug, and this batter did not really rise. It looks a little gooey still, but it's firm. It's not running. You love desserts? They found me out. All right, so we are gonna press some marshmallows into here. I am pressing these in. It is actually pretty firm there. Maybe it is supposed to be kind of gooey. It's not gonna kill anybody. And then it wants the graham crackers crushed over the top. Wow, they're so hard. They're so crunchy. It's not gourmet, but it's probably little kid approved. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I am going to let these cool. I'm gonna go put this guy down for a nap, and then I'm gonna go get the big kids so that they can have a snack. I will see you all in the next video, hopefully tomorrow, and hopefully jalapeno bagels. Bye.